Hello guys. Welcome to my channel. First of all, I want to thank you guys for supporting my channel. Since my last guide video, many of you have been wondering how to get the best PUBG Mobile settings, controls, and sensitivity. So today, I will be going over my PUBG Mobile settings as well as an in-depth guide on how you can get the best PUBG Mobile settings. Not only that, I will show you my best control settings and secrets when setting up your control interface. If you are new to my channel, I play competitive PUBG Mobile in Singapore and I use a 5-finger claw control with always-on gyroscope. If you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do and turn on post notifications so that you can get access to high-level gameplays as well as tips and tricks to help you become a pro. Now, let's go over my basic settings. There are 3 important things I want to point out here. Firstly, I disable aim assist at all times. The purpose of aim assist is to help you correct your aim. However, when 2 or more enemies are close to each other, aim assist will mess up your aim. Because of that, I died a lot when playing with aim assist. Secondly, I disable blocked sight warning. I like to see my crosshair when I'm behind a cover as it makes my pre-aim more accurate. Thirdly, I find it very important to separate jump and climb. When enemies are behind low covers, you can jump and shoot without climbing over to the other side. Climbing over will result in your character being vulnerable and that makes you an easy target. Next, let's go over the graphics settings. These are the settings that most pro players use. Even though my device supports higher graphics, I set mine to smooth as it prevents my device from overheating and allows me to spot enemies easily because of the lower rendering distance. As for the frame rate, always set it to the highest setting available for your device as it ensures a smoother gaming experience. Most pro players use colorful, but if your eyes are hurting because of it, switch to soft as it will cause lesser eye strain. Now, let's talk about the controls. I have 4 very important rules when setting up the controls. Your character must be able to move freely, aim freely, fire freely, and lastly, scope in freely. It doesn't really matter how many fingers you are using when playing PUBG Mobile. As long as these 4 rules do not interfere with one another, I would consider it a great control setting. You guys can take my control setup as a reference. This is my 5-finger claw control setup and they completely follow the 4 rules. With the help of the gyroscope, I am able to move, aim, fire and scope in at the same time while I crouch. Now, let's dive deeper into my 5-finger claw control setup. I will go through the buttons in my setup from left to right. On the left, I control these buttons with my left thumb, index, and middle fingers. On the right, I control them with my right thumb and index fingers. I put my fire button at the top left and my crouch and prone buttons slightly to the right. This allows me to fire with my middle finger and crouch or prone with my index finger while I look around at the same time. You guys may have noticed that I have another fire button right above my joystick. This button is used by my left thumb to single tap. Because of my high gyroscope sensitivity, single tapping with my left middle finger will cause my phone to shake a lot which affects my aim. Thus, I have it on my left so that I'm able to single tap and look around at the same time. Next, we'll talk about the joystick. The location of the joystick doesn't really matter. What matters is the size of your joystick. The smaller the size, the faster you will be able to turn. The bigger the size, the more precise your movements are. Also, I normally move left and right while hip firing so I find that 70% button size suits me the best. Now, on the right hand side, this is where it gets complicated. But do not worry because I will explain them to you. For the utility and meds buttons, I put them both on the right side. The reason for this is that I would like to select them during combat. If they were on the left side, I would have to stop moving to select them. It's less efficient and very rigid and you do not want that. Next, we have the map. As a competitive player, I need to check the map very frequently while I am either moving or driving. However, it has a drawback as it blocks part of my view. Therefore, I decrease the transparency of my map to around 75%. For the cancel button, you can put them on top of the scope in button since these two buttons will never show up at the same time. This can help save you some space on your screen too. Moving on, we have the reload button. I put mine closest to the scope in button because I usually scope in and fire and I would want to reload as quickly as possible after doing so. I also have my jump buttons right below it so I am able to jump with my index finger and look around with my thumb at the same time. Do take note that the best control setting is the one that you are the most comfortable with. I have been using this control setting for quite a while now so I am very comfortable with them. Now, let's go through my sensitivity. There are many factors to consider when getting the best sensitivity for yourself so my sensitivity can only be a reference for your own. For free look sensitivity, I adjusted it to 150. I find it perfect for me as it is neither slow nor fast, allowing me to watch my surroundings. In this camera section, I want to point out that the third and first person no-scope sensitivity plays an important role in close combat. I set mine to 100 and 120 respectively. If you can use a single fast swipe to turn 180 degrees, I would say that the sensitivity is considerably good. If you are a non-gyroscope player, the ad's sensitivity basically decides how well you can control your recoil for any scopes and guns, so I recommend that you take a lot of time to adjust it. Third and first person no-scope plays an important factor in the accuracy of your hip fire. Normally, you can just set it the same as the corresponding sensitivity in the last camera section, but for me, I turn them down a little because it is more accurate when hip firing. Because I am a full gyroscope player, I set the sensitivity of all my scopes to 1% as I heavily rely on gyroscope. For ADS players, you can start adjusting from 1%. If you can't control the vertical recoil, increase it by 5% until you can. Remember to find your most comfortable thumb movement when controlling the recoil and keep the sensitivity the same when repeating my steps to build muscle memory. As you can see in the gyroscope section, I put all my sensitivities close to the max. If it is your first time, or perhaps you have not tried playing with gyroscope, you will probably take a couple of weeks of practice to get used to it. Personally speaking, it's all worth it. I am able to confidently control my vertical recoil with the help of the gyroscope. Unlike most professional PUBG mobile player, I enable auto pickup in competitive games. Personally, I find it quick and helpful when I am looting because I don't need to worry about the things I accidentally picked up. One thing to take note is that when you are healing, make sure that you close the pickup and loot box buttons as it will cancel your healing process when you pick things up. Also, do let your teammates know that you have auto pickup enabled before they drop any items for you. Finally, we have the scope. I made two changes here. First, I changed the crosshair color to red as I find it to be the most noticeable color among the other colors. Another change is the crosshair style. I changed both the red dot and canted sight to this little dot as I find that the others were blocking part of my view when I aim. And there you have it. We just went through the settings that I use, as well as how you can get the best settings for yourself. If you have any questions or you think I have missed out something in the video, drop a comment down below and I will do my best to answer them. And if you find my content useful, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. See you guys in the next video.